Uh, Good morning to all honorable members, fellow chairpersons. I extend my warm welcome to Mr. Gregory Werner, the petitioner, and the team that is accompanying
Recording in
him.
progress.
Honorable members, on the 23rd of May, my office received a communication from the Speaker's office concerning Mr. Werner's petition. He has requested the involvement of the portfolio committees on forestry, fisheries, and environment, water and sanitation, as well as police, due to the complex nature of the issues raised, which extend beyond the mining sector. In this meeting, I will allow Mr. Werner to present his concerns on behalf of the Heidedal community, as he has been advocating for this cause since 2016. He previously submitted a petition in 2022 that regrettably did not receive the attention it warranted, and would like to sincerely apologize for that oversight, Mr. Werner. Today's meeting is dedicated to hearing Mr. Werner's insights regarding his petition for the committee's consideration. And all honorable members are expected today to actively listen and ask clarity-seeking questions. And at the conclusion of the meeting, I will make a suggestion that outline our next steps for discussion and decision-making. And before I hand over to Mr. Werner, I would like to take apologies. Before I do that, I would like to inform you that the chairperson of Portfolio Committee on Forestry, Fisheries and Environment has sent an apology on behalf of her committee entirely for being unable to attend due to prior commitments, although they acknowledge the importance of today's discussion. The Committee on Water and Sanitation has also indicated that they will not participate as the petition was not referred to them. I thought I must clarify this, honorable members, especially since Mr. Werner specifically requested the involvement of these other two committees. Can I take further apologies and acknowledge the presence of Honorable Ian Cameron as the Chair of Police? And can we have secretaries of portfolio committees giving us the further apologies? We'll start with Ms. Boss.
Good morning, honorable chairpersons, honorable members, and our guest, and Mr. Werner. From Minerals and Petroleum Resources, we've got apology from Honorable Mani. That's the only apology, Chair, from Minerals and Petroleum. Thank you.
Thank you, Police.
Good morning, Chairperson, members, and colleagues. I received the following apologies from the PC on Police. Mr. Cameron, Chairperson of the Portfolio Committee on Police, he requested to leave the meeting early due to other commitments. I also received the apology from Mr. Skosana, Mr. Muela, Mr. Sokopo, and the Deputy Minister of Police, Boshielo, will be appearing before the other committee today. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you very much.
Apologies, Chair. I also received from police, from the minister, and also the Deputy Minister, Mr. Matale. Thank you.
Thank you. Honorable members, there are the apologies. Do we accept them? Can I get an indication? They say silence means Honorable Cameron.
Chair, it would be slightly strange if I accept my own apology, but I at least wanted to tell you directly that I will try and rejoin as quickly as I can. I have a commitment that I've cancelled twice already, and it was booked long in advance. So apologies for that, but most of the committee will still join.
Thank you, Honorable Cameron. Honorable Selepe.
Morning, Honorable Chairperson. No, Chairperson, my worry here is that most of the apologies are coming from the policy committee, and it's giving some because if there's a petition, that means the presentation that we are about to hear, it's based on the policy affecting issues, and then I don't understand if most of them are not part of the meeting, and then at some point it's going to be a challenge that every time they would get the second-hand information, of which today it was an opportunity of perhaps listening and respecting, more especially is on a visual platform. It was paramount for everyone in the committee just to listen to the petition of our fellow South Africans so that we can understand what is the outcry. I think, Chairperson, next time the policy committee, they should do better than what they are doing currently now. Thank you.
Thank you, Honorable Selepe. I think we will just put it in a manner that we note the apologies, those from the committees that were supposed to be here and are not here. But I think let's accept the apologies of those that have made apologies prior to other commitments, especially those that are involved in the ad hoc committee. Let's take it as noted and accepted. Honorable members, allow me to hand over to Mr. Werner to take us through. And really, there's nothing much we can do except to extract information from the petitioner, and then we will take it from there. Mr. Werner, can you take the floor?
Just quickly see if we can hear me on the other side.
Yes, we
Yes,
can.
we can hear.
Just quickly put sound. Okay. Honorable Chairperson Matlaule, honorable members of the Portfolio Committees on Mineral Resources and Energy, South African Police, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, good morning. My name is Gregory Allen Werner, and I appear before you today as the petitioner in the matter of securing and rehabilitating the Heidedal Quarry, a matter of life, safety, and accountability. Thank you for the opportunity to present this very urgent petition to you. Honorable Chair, at this point, I want to ask permission if I could close the camera in order to focus the attention on the presentation.
Yes, please go ahead.
Thank you. Before I start with my presentation on Friday, I sent 2 packs, the official petition spec and with it a key document spec where I extracted some of the very key documents for ease of reference. This is the journey from pain to action with 6 stops in this outline, Honorable Chairperson. And The next slide, on slide 3. Honorable members, the Heidedal Quarry is not just a hole in the ground. It is a daily threat that is woven into the lives of our children, our families, and our neighbors. For years, this abandoned pit has swallowed the dreams and has endangered lives. Children playing too close to the edge, families mourning the drownings, and a community living in fear of the next tragedy. What you are about to see and hear is not just statistics. It is our story, a story told by the people who live it every single day. I now invite you to meet Heidedal.
16-year-old Justin Jacobs disappeared after school on Valentine's Day in 2016. A week later, his body was found in the Witherow Dam Quarry in Heidedal in Bloemfontein. He reportedly drowned after spending time there with friends.
Ja, Justin was 'n baie goeie seun gewees. Ordentlike seentjie, was nie stout gewees nie. Maar hy het hom net self bevind met verkeerde vriende het hom bevind. Daai dag van die 14de Februarie 2016, daai Valentijnsdag, het hy net gedisappear na skool. Want toen we die oggend gezien, vandaag het ons nooit weer gezien nie. Het ons eerst na 'n week ontdek dat hij oorlede is. En ons het dit gaan aanmerk bij die politie, toe die politie begin soek na hom. Dus ons ook maar kom uitvind bij een van die vrienden wat kon sê, hulle weet wat het gebeur en wat dat Justin is. Om uit te kom van na 'n week dat ons seun oorlede is by die dam. En dat die seuns wat hy mee saam was, die 8 seuns wat hy mee saam was, sy vriende, nie een van ons kon sê wat het gebeur die dag nie. Ja, ons was baie emosioneel geweest, ons baie hartseer geweest. Veral my vrou, nee, sy was nie haarself nie. So ek maar geprobeer om haar sterk te hou en dat ons maar sterk is vir die ander, vir die rest van die familie. En dit was maar, dus weet ek dink baie woord om te sê, dat ek kan nie, van die punt wat gebeurde was baie swaar vir ons geweest.
And this notorious quarry has scarred other lives too. Lorna Hoffman's 10-year-old son Ray J disappeared just hours after she returned home from work on the 17th of January 2020.
Sy naam is Kaylen Ray J Hoffman. Iets het net vir my gesê, niemand gaan kyk by die dynamite gat, maar toe gaan ons dynamite gat toe. Toe sê die securities meneer, daar het 'n mannetjie kind gespeel en ek beskryf hom wat het die kind aangegaan. Maar hy sê nee, bly net die kind weg gaan keer, maar die kind wil nie ophou het nie. Maar hy hoor wie die kind speel, ek vra nou waar die kind is, nee, obvious die kind is dood. En hulle wys toe met daar lê in die water en ek het net sy top gesien, sy skipper. Sê ek nee, dit is Kaylen.
I got news of a young boy, Justin Jacobs, who passed away, and I was perturbed by this, and I went out on site one day, and you know what struck me was that it was so freely accessible. You know, I could walk in there and I saw young kids swimming there, and to me that was a bit of a problem. It's a dangerous piece of land. I took it upon myself to write a petition to the Minister of DMRE, Department Minerals and Energy at the time. It was what I thought, Minister Masabenzi Zwane, a guy who understands Bloemfontein, who knows Heidedal, who's been campaigning in our community, you know, and I thought maybe this is a person that would, you know, give a hearing to this or do something. But unfortunately nothing happened, and with all the evidence I had, I opened up a case, and yes, had meetings with a few top shot SEPS officials. They started with their investigation, but nothing. You know, it was as if we just hit a brick wall.
The 17th of October 2014 has forever been etched in the mind of Desiree Plaatjes. She and her neighbor's son Sebastian Finnis were attacked in the quarry as they made their way home from a church service.
Ja, die diens toe sê hy vir my man, ons kan nie so ver om terugloop nie. Kom ons gaan weer so terug. Toe stap ek en hy nou maar. Toe ons nou hier in die veld en maar baie naby aan die huis. Toe het hy vir my gesê, hier kom iemand agteraan. Moenie omkyk nie. Nou enige mens, ek het omgekyk. En toe het wat hierdie man nog gehardloop het en na ons toe gekom het. En toe het hy nou vir ons daar in 'n gat ding ingedruk en toe het hy nou vir ons begin vra vir fone en geld en wat. Ek dink ek en hy moes seker, maar ons moes beklei het. Want ek weet net, ek kan net so ver onthou as die feit dat hy ons tekkies losgemaak het en ons hande vasgemaak het. Verder as hy onthou ek glad nie wat het gebeur het. Hulle het mos nog gesê dat ek my brein bietjie seer gemaak het. So ek kon toe nog nie meer werk nie. En ek het hierdie lelike merk, maar so hulle volgens wat hulle vir my beskryf het, was my vel heeltemal afgewees. Jy weet, die seerste seer is nou maar die feit dat jy nou nie meer werk nie. Jy was gewoond vir 'n goeie inkomste. Nou is jy afhanklik van SASSA, wat net so 'n druppeltjie in die emmer is. Ek het kinders wat ek grootmaak wat nog in die skool in is. Jy sien, en grootendeels is daar nog baie goedjies. Ek meen, ek het nie hulp gekry nadat ek seer gekry het nie. Ek het nie met 'n sielkundige gepraat nie, niks nie. Ek kan, dit is nou, hoeveel jaar? 8 jaar. 8 jaar. Nou Oktober maand is dit 8 jaar. Ek slaap nou nog nie met my kamerlig af nie.
Ja, ek sal sê, ja, die suster het ons reg, het ons baie geveel, het ons teleurgestel eintlik. Ja, en ons was ook baie ontevrede met dit.
Ek het klomp vrae gehad, Here, nou hoekom nou my baba, hoekom hy? Ek het dan nog so Desember maand het ek ook nog so gesê, Chama boy, mama gaan oorsee stuur die hoe hy gedans het en aangegaan het. Maar en nou hy en toe moet ek maar net vrede daarmee maak. En sê, as dit die Here se hoe is, vir my ietsie uit te leer en dan. Maar dit is hard, dit nou nog toe is hard.
Honorable members, please note the dates of these 2 articles. The one is from the Free State Provincial Government, and the one is from the Bloemfontein Courant. On the very same day, on that very faithful day, there were drownings in Heidedal, where the lifeless body of 10-year-old Ray J. Hoffman was retrieved from the quarry, and 2 people also drowned in the quarry in Bloemfontein in Kwakwa. Now, on that exact same day, the Premier of the Free State, Mesisi Ntombela, she got in a car and she drove right past the Heidedal Quarry onto the N8, and she traveled 337 kilometers to Kwakwa. The problem in Kwakwa was solved in 1 week. The families and the victims, as you can see on the article, they have received houses. The people in Bloemfontein has not received a message of condolences from the Free State government. Neither did anyone receive a media statement, or a media statement was made. This silence is deafening.
Memorial service for people, mostly children who've lost their lives at the Coral Brick Quarry, will be held today in Bloemfontein. It's being reported that at least 49 children have drowned in that quarry over the years. The unfenced and unguarded region is usually turned into a swimming pool by children in the area, especially during hot summer days as they try to remain cool. Over the years, community efforts to have the area around the quarry secured have fallen on deaf ears, at least those of the Mangaung Metro Municipality. watching the story is SABC News reporter Ishmael Mediba, who joins us now live from not too far from the quarry itself in Bloemfontein. And Ishmael, one has to wonder what it will take for the government there to respond to these calls from the community in order at the very least to prevent a further loss of life.
Exactly, Ayanda. That's the call that the community members have been making for the longest time, to say this quarry needs to be, closed because they are saying the owners of this quarry are not even here in the province, but it's like it's a company that is outside the province. And we are actually at the quarry because I wanted us to give you a picture or a clear sense of what this quarry looked like. But one thing that shocked me when I arrived here, I thought I've seen it. I've seen them all. I've seen part of the country that I've been through. I've seen the big hole in Kimberley, but this, I can tell you, it's bigger than the Kimberley big hole. But
memorial service.
And that brings us, honorable members, to an incident that happened just over a week ago, the latest. And this is when they discovered the body of Benjamin van Wyk after a grueling 7-day-long search, the latest drowning victim. This image, though, this video here was taken a day after that a memorial was held. Honorable Chairperson, honorable members, what you have just heard is not a new cry. It is a decade-long plea for action. On the 14th of March 2025, we finally brought this to Parliament because lives continue to be lost and children remain at risk and accountability is still absent. The next slide condenses 10 years of evidence, tragedy, and broken promises into one urgent petition. So please allow me to walk you through the petition at a glance. This petition, submitted on 14 March 2025, calls for the immediate parliamentary intervention to address the risk posed by a deadly abandoned quarry in Heidedal. Loss of life, multiple drownings. Children lost lives over the years due to easy access and lack of fencing and patrols. Health hazards, lymphoblastic leukemia, possibly from consuming fish. The story of Luciano Langeveld, who has been fishing there since 2013. I will touch on this story a little bit later in the presentation. The possible groundwater contamination due to illegal discharge of raw sewage from the adjacent Twin City shopping center for years now. The environmental and safety negligence. Developments without scrutiny, ignored licensing and rehabilitation requirements, and then the community vulnerability. The absence of a secure fence, warning signs, or patrols turns the site into a death trap in a densely populated area, especially for children during the summer who resort to the quarry because the Heidedal swimming pool is constantly out of commission. The broader implications, it violates the human rights. It violates human rights, the right to life, a safe environment, and then also the regulatory failures by owners and authorities. The presentation, like earlier alluded to, condensed the work of over a 10-year period in pursuit of justice and accountability. It aims to summarize the history of the land, the transgressions of various parties, and this journey since 2016, seeking a solution on behalf of the community and how we think Parliament, through the various portfolio committees, can assist. Chairperson and members, this quarry did not become deadly overnight. It was abandoned by design. This slide is the official chain of ownership and closure failures from 1978 up until 2006. Every transfer, every certificate, every ignored regulation is documented here, proving that rehabilitation was never done. Walk with me as we follow the evidence on this slide. 21 February 1978, the Bloemfontein municipality transferred the property to Coral Brick for 16,000 rand. On 8 February, Coral Brick sold, 8 February 1990, Coral Brick sold the land to Tongaat Hewlett Group. Operations continued under Tongaat Hewlett with environmental programs approved in 1994 and 1996. 28 October 2004, Tongaat decided to sell the property to Imbazo Trading for a mere 100 rand. A full 112 hectares of land was sold on 28 October 2024 for 100 rand. Mining ceased post-sale and the site started filling with water. A closure certificate was issued on December 2006, 2 years later, after the land was transferred for 100 rand under the Minerals Act of 1991. Sold 2 years later, mine closing. Mining ceased post-sale. Please take note of that. 21 November 2006, a closure certificate was issued by Department Water and Forestry, at least authorizing a closure. The closure, it was a commenting authority. So they issued on that day a comment that authorized the mine closing certificate. After a site visit by officials named Dr. Johan van der Merwe, Mr. Hugo Nzota, and Mathieu Matuane. They've added water perimeter monitoring to the plan, but it appears as if they overlooked a very critical component there, the water use requirements under the National Water Act of 1998, and that is raised serious questions about the full compliance with the water legislation. 12 December 2006, the mine closing certificate that was issued by the Department of Minerals and Energy, certificate number 02/2006, dated December 2006, deep into the festive season, for the mining license that was mining license number 05/1996 for Tongaat, that was issued to Tongaat Hewlett. And that mine closing certified compliance under Section 12 for the Mineral Act 1991. Please, again, I reiterate it. This was issued unlawfully as rehabilitation was not completed as per the licensing terms, and it failed to address the water use license requirements under the National Water Act of 1998. And right there, that exacerbated, that was the cascading point for a whole lot of things that ensued, exacerbating the site's hazardous state. Honorable members, the story does not end in 2006. The closure certificate just accelerated profit and abandonment. From 2008 up until today, the quarry was carved up piece by piece, sold off, and left to rot while our children kept dying. Now, this slide shows you every transaction that ignored rehabilitation, and it lands us in 2025 with an unfenced death trap. 9 July 2008, Imbazo Trading sold a piece of the land, first carved up land, for 1.4 million. Remember, this very same Imbazo bought the land for 100 rand. The evidence is in the title deeds, as provided in the petition spec. They then carved up a piece of land and sold that land for 1.4 million to Twin City Developments. Now, Twin City Developments started to develop a shopping center, and please note, highlight this one with red, without an environmental authorization. There is absolutely zero EIA on record. Please see the affidavit that was sent to me in 2016 from an official from the STIA. 14 November 2023, they went further, and what was supposed to be demolished, one of the this was a complex with many buildings. On the side of each of the road where traffic can see, those buildings were nicely demolished, but right in the center at the back where there's no eyes, no traffic, that building was kept neatly and nicely in shape, and it was sold. It was sold to Moni Roofing SA Pty Ltd for just over 11 million rand. Now, the associated factory building that remained undemolished, contrary to the licensing terms, while Imbazo retained the core quarry site without allegedly addressing the rehabilitation obligation, Moni Roofing went further, and they operated a tile manufacturing, a roof tile manufacturing business up around 2020, 2018. I am not sure of the date, but they needed an atmospheric emissions license. In 2016, when we were doing the investigation, no such atmospheric emission license was required, and due to the emissions. And I think that is why it is so important to have had the colleagues from Environmental Affairs for these portions. On 2018, there was a massive, beautiful advertisement of the Witherow Dam Quarry that was even advertised internationally on eSales International at 3.5 million euros, suggesting the township establishment completed in 1999. And before the mine closure, there was a township establishment done. It leaves a huge question mark, because how can you have a township establishment on an active mine? The mine closing certificate was only issued in 2006, but we continue. 10 February 2023, received an approval for a cemetery development from Mangaung Metropolitan Municipality with the applicant Imbazo Trading, the landowners of that quarry. Without the applicant following the legislative requirements and protocol. For example, the Department of Water and Sanitation was not consulted for this development, this cemetery. In spite correspondence that was sent to the municipality urging them to follow the law and do so. And then this very same land was advertised on an auction on 7 August in 2025. And then this auction, the property description spoke about an approved retail and education center and also the approved cemetery, enhancing the value of the property. The current status of that land, it is abandoned. There's no fencing, there's no patrols, and with criminal activity continuing unabated. Honorable members, I feel I have to spend a little bit more time just to unpack here. DMRE, on that fateful festive season in 2006, issued a mine closing certificate without due diligence. The property was not rehabilitated as per the licensing conditions. Buildings that were supposed to be demolished were instead kept and sold for 11 million. How did this happen? Did the officials not come out to verify the conditions of the land? And had they came out on that festive season, they would have seen what the dangers and the risks are, including a massive factory building that yielded a profit of 11 million after the 100 rand sale or purchase of the property. Now, in 2006, when those three officials from the Department of Water and Forestry went on site, on their commenting authority, they speak about water, they speak about water perimeters, but what they omitted to speak about was, or conveniently forgot, was the National Water Act requirements, because at that time, it was a requirement for a mine closure. Remember, this thing was issued, the mine closure was issued in 2006, and the National Water Act was already enacted for 8 long years, because the National Water Act of 1998 was already, and to go further, there was a shopping center that was developed. This shopping center without an EIA was developed. And further, they had a stormwater dam run off for stormwater, this massive paved area, it runs off into a dam. Now, this dam in 2016 was unregistered. I brought this under the department's attention in 2016, and they didn't act. They looked away. 2025, nothing happened. And then Destia, honorable members, in 2016, Destia provided me with an affidavit and clearly stated for the record that there is no EIA on record for the Twin City Shopping Center. Now, that is very, very, very serious, because in terms of the National Environmental Management Act, and the custodians of that act, Environmental Affairs, could attest to that, it can land you in prison for 10 years because it is a crime, or a fine up to 10 million. Now, in spite of the people in the STIA knowing this, full knowing this, since 2016, full knowing the seriousness and the criminal implication, to date, the department has done absolutely nothing, in spite of having the obligation of enforcing certain provisions of the NEMA Act. The investigations that was started by an official, by in National, Mr. Reno Serfontein, he took my case, CAS 75/09, 2016, and he started running with the case. He investigated the case. We had many interactions in his office, and he was shocked at what he found, and everything just went dead silent, dead silent. And I called the NPA. I called the NPA to find out what is happening here. I forgot the name of the lady, the advocate that dealt with this matter. And yeah, she provided a letter the letter is in the Key Documents Act, in the Key Documents Pack that I submitted. The advocate just told me that, look, the case was wrestled away by Destia. The advocate Antoinette Pereira, her name is on the letter. You will see it there. She stated clearly there in the letter that the case was overtaken by Destia, and yeah, they wrestled it away from Reno Serfontein in 2016, and nothing. Absolutely nothing happened. Now, that letter names the official that took the case away. Her name is Menozi Nkwe. She's from the Department of Destia. So with all the crimes that were listed in my affidavit, allegations of serious violations, nothing happened. Honorable members, since 2016, nothing happened. I have tried to call the department. I've tried over the years to set up meetings with the department, and all I got from Mrs. Nozi Nkwe was a very ice cold no comment. Now, since 2016, up to this point, there were many drownings, many crimes, and we need to really look into this, because inaction equals complicity. We need to probe the capability and complicity of the inaction of these officials, honorable members. And that brings me to Triple M, Mangaung municipality. And it raises the questions, honorable members. How did the municipality approve Twin City development without an EIA? Most recently, when I saw that the advertising for the cemetery, I objected. And irrespective, this approval was given 10 February 2023, and this approval was made with significant procedural and administrative flaws. As I've alluded to earlier, we told them, I've sent a letter from DWS, from the HOD of the province of DWS, Dr. Ntili, that stated clearly, we as an authorizing body do not know about this. You need to come to us before you can approve that. That letter I've handed to a certain Mr. George Mushwabi, and it was ignored. It was ignored. And further to that, as a registered objector, in terms of the law, I had to be notified of the decision. I wasn't, and I have it on record here that one of the staff members said they received instruction from Mr. George Mushwabi not to notify me, and I have record of this maladministration. So when by chance I found out about this approval of the cemetery, I contested it. I contested it for obvious reasons, and 2 years later, the municipality said, no, okay, it's okay, we made a procedural mistake. Mr. Werner, sorry for not letting you know, but we'll give you another opportunity to object the decision that we've made, because remember, that right was taken away with the non-notification. So after 2 years, Mr. Mushwabi afforded me this very special courtesy of contesting the decision or appealing the decision at a measly 46,000 rand. So if you can, this is the municipality's account number. If you can just pay in the 46,000, then we'll hear your appeal. And I've asked about this. I've asked about why the high cost for ordinary people. And I couldn't, they didn't explain it to me. So I made a full submission to the Municipal Appeals Tribunal. Please also look at the PEC. My objection is in the official petition spec. All the information there.
Mr. Werner, Mr.
Yes.
Werner, I thought you were expanding on this slide, but it has not been moving for quite some time. And now you are referring to a municipal account that we must look at. You mean in our packages?
Yes. What I am alluding to, Chair, just to explain, all the information, look, over this last 16 years, there were a lot of letters written. There's a whole lot of information that was obtained via PAIA processes, etc., etc. Now, all that I have taken and compiled a report, a 178-page report, right? And I know it's not easy just to look at a 178 technical report with huge detail. So I've extracted a few of that documents, and I called it a key documents report for easy reference. Now, when I submitted this presentation on Friday, I submitted this presentation with the official petition spec, 178 pages, and the key document spec, which I will later unpack a little bit more. So I am just explaining the process here, Honorable Chair, of what transpired.
No, thanks. Okay, thanks.
Right.
Proceed.
Thank you so much. So Chair, when I objected against this cemetery development, I was told you have to pay in 46,000 rand. And then after that, I've presented on the 15th of August this year appeal submission to the Municipal Appeals Tribunal, of which the chairperson is Councillor Gregory Ntatise, the mayor. And the city manager, Mr. Selo More, is also a part of that. And I've also CC'd in that appeals the chairperson or the speaker. This week not, honorable members. The 15th of August, I sent it. On the 24th of September, again, I've asked. Remember, all this is tying up with the quarry. On the 24th of September, I again asked what is happening here. Nothing. 24th of October, again, I was ignored. Now, the significance of this, members, is that this approved cemetery, as we speak today, this approved cemetery is currently being auctioned. It's advertised by Auction SA, and this cemetery, this unlawful approval is adding value to the property, and it's advertised falsely like that. It will take place in a couple of days from now, this auction. And if you open up the property description, it states there in the comments of the property that M is fully backing us for this. Now, this very same municipality, Honorable Chairperson, has been quiet about people drowning, has been quiet, and not a word has been uttered. But yet, the same municipality is enabling unlawful things. So with that, I want to go to slide 10. And here I want to explain the criminality and some of the key violations. Honorable Chairperson, these are not accidents of history. They are crimes of negligence. Let me repeat that. They are crimes of negligence. Every company that touched this quarry broke the law. They dodged rehabilitation and they left a killer pit behind. This slide is the charge sheet with specific statutes, with specific breaches, and specific lives lost. So meet the corporate actors here in this slide and their violations. So Coral Brick operated the quarry and sold it to Tongaat for 4 million, 1978 to 1990. Pre-Minerals Act, no liability, but the sale evaded the emerging Section 39 obligation and they left a hazardous site. So they already transgressed there, and what transpired I've been touched on. I've touched on. Then Tongaat Hewlett, they violated the Minerals Act, Section 38(1), by not rehabilitating as per the 1994 EMPR, the Environmental Management Program report. It is in the pack. You can read that up. Obvious thing, the National Water Act, there was no water use license, and that is what contributed to the drownings of Justin Jacobs and all the others. Imbazo Trading breached the Environment Conservation Act 1989, Section 22(1), without an EIA, and potentially a fraudulent or falsified record of decision, because, honorable members, how can there be a record of decision if there is no environmental impact assessment? And that should be investigated under the Prevention of Corrupt Activities Act. And then also the building that was sold, it's still there. Munir ran away, they're no more functioning there, but if you go onto the internet now, they're still using that as their address, business address. So yes, that building that was undemolished, contrary to the licensing terms. Twin City, they violated NEMA, Section 24F1, and then also, in my view, a dam that's bigger than 15,000 cubic meter, and that is another breach of the National Water Act 1998, Section 151K. It was so important for our colleagues from the Department of Water and Sanitation to have been part of this, because this year has been brought under their attention in 2016 and nothing has been, they looked away. Munir Roofing, all right, operated on that undemolished building that was sold, that they bought for 11 million without an air quality, without the emissions license. And those aspects are nicely explained in the affidavit that speaks to case 7506, 7509, 16. Honorable members, the private companies walked away, but the state never stepped in. This slide exposes government departments and the municipality that issued these certificates without verification, approved developments without scrutiny, and ignored the law for decades. These are not oversights. They are systemic failures that cost lives. This is the state's complicity in black and white. Bloemfontein municipality sold the land to Coral Brick for 16,000. There was no liability due to the lack of rehabilitation back then, pre-94, and that enabled the environmental harm. DMRE issued a 2006 closure certificate without verifying the rehabilitation or the water licensing, potentially also violating the Minerals Act 1991, Section 12. DWS failed in their duty to require water use license in 2006, breaching the National Water Act, Section 118(1). And that contributed to the pollution and drownings that you see today. Destia, no EIA records, and suggesting negligence or complicity in the falsified ROD, like I've explained earlier. And then Mangaung municipality, in 1999, approved, in conjunction with the township board, approved the township development without an EIA, breaching the Environment Conservation Act of 1989, Section 22(1). So they approved an unlawful cemetery development, as stated on the earths, which was approved by the MPT. Decision of 10 February 2023. My objection is in the pack, the petition spec. Please look at that objection. there was no DWS, Department Water and Sanitation consultation. And also, honorable members, I was told that, yes, they did contact Sarah, but Sarah didn't reply. This was the words of the officials. South African Heritage and Resource Agency, which by law is a requirement, didn't give input as well. And then, my appeal that I've submitted in the form of the Municipal Appeals Tribunal on 15 August 2025 is still not answered. Honorable Chairperson and members, words on paper mean nothing if they are never enforced. This is just the key documents and an explanation of the key documents. The draft letter is in the pack. The authorized, they speak on that letter about the perimeters, but the water use license, silence on that. It's a breach. The NPA, please focus your attention on the letter from the NPA in paragraph 6 and paragraph 7, where the investigation was overtaken, wrestled away by the STIA and stalled. My inquiries on the matter went ignored. And where I am today, I cannot help to wonder how many lives could have been saved had we acted earlier. In 2016, had we acted earlier, we could have saved lives. I put that to the members. And then the directive. In 2016, when I started my advocacy on this matter, the Department of Water and Sanitation did an investigation. It's in the pack, a letter as referenced there. Now, this directive was issued to Mangaung municipality, and it was also issued to the landowners in Bazo, where it clearly stated in that letter, there is records of the investigation. We have done tests, and we have found these high levels of chemicals in the quarry, and it speaks to pollution, and it must be addressed, and we need to fix this, and we need to fence this dangerous land in terms of the law that authorized DWS to do this, and I felt so hopeful, and I thought, yeah. This is good, man. This is good. The municipality will act and DWS will, but nothing. 2025, nothing was done. Those directives were defied, and also there was no follow-up from DWS. That letter is there. It's there. It's smoking gun evidence. This year, key documents. That's the smoking gun evidence, correspondence, and then. Before I move on, this is where I want to touch on the story of Luciano Langeveld. Now, you see, this is a young man. He's just over 20 years. Many people go to that dam and they go and fish. Now, part of the poisons that the Department of Water and Sanitation during the investigation detected was arsenic. High levels of arsenic or low levels, doesn't matter, but there were arsenic in the water tested. And this young man has been fishing since 2013 and ate the fish, obviously, and he came out. He was diagnosed with lymphoblastic leukemia. Now, arsen is a known carcinogenic, a cancer-forming chemical in the human body. Now we sit with a young man who has lymphoblastic leukemia, and he ate the fish from a dam that is filled with arsen, a known carcinogenic. So that is just the story that I wanted. Now, I can't say for certain that that is the cause, but I would implore the Parliament to assist us in doing the necessary tests, because as a community, we cannot afford that exact science. And then the last letter, also from DWS, that letter clearly warned against the cemetery development approval, and it clearly said that you cannot proceed if you know of anything. You can't do this, guys. We, as an authorizing authority, we must be known in this, and we haven't seen an authorization or environmental impact assessment, etc., etc. Now, I've handed this letter to Mr. George Mushwabi at the municipality. It was just outright ignored. And yeah, it was, the approval went ahead. Yes, I think I've covered on that. On to slide 13. Now, on this slide, honorable members, from 2016 to 2025, we didn't stay silent. We did not stay silent. From 2016 to 2025, the community begged, we petitioned, we reported to every level of government. This slide here, honorable members, is the trail of our tears as a community. Every cry for help, every case opened, and every ignored email. For 9 years of stonewalling, there is still today no fence, no justice, no safety. This is the record of our fight and those who failed us. And it is the Department Minerals of Energy. We've ended in February 2016 after the drowning of Justin Jacobs. Acknowledged receipt of the petition, but it went into the bin. We've heard nothing after that. So from there on, I opened the case, CAS 7509, after doing public access to information, where we listed all the crimes and the investigation started. Those were serious things. National was involved. Mr. Reno Serfontein from Environmental Affairs National, he shook his head at what he found there. So the case was open, but it was overtaken by the steer. And the NPA, when I called the lady from the NPA, the advocate, she just said, look, I'm sorry, my bosses took me off this case. And yeah, but fortunately, she gave me a letter to confirm what happened to the case. Nothing. The investigation was confirmed of the alleged criminal offenses, and no responses. 2022 is, as you alluded to earlier, Chair, and apology accepted. We understand these things. The submission was made to 3 portfolio committees in Parliament, and that unfortunately and sadly also went ignored. And then it was the matter of human rights, the Human Rights Commission. We've raised this with the Human Rights Commission, and the Human Rights Commission came back in a letter. The letter is also in the petition spec, FS 2122/01/05/TM. So where we stand now, the human rights just said, no, we still investigating the matter. Look, guys, we took it up with DMRE, and DMRE is shrugging their shoulders. They're saying it's a jurisdiction matter, guys. We have a mind closing. Sorry, our hands are tied. We can't do anything. Sorry, guys. It's all right. And that was the last correspondence that we have received from the South African Human Rights Commission. But this morning, when I opened my inbox, I saw a letter from the Department of Human Rights, a Human Rights Commission. Since 2022, it's 2025 now, but I received the letter on the Heidedal Quarry, and this letter was addressed to Dr. Ntili at DWS. I don't know if the chair would perhaps allow me to read this letter into the record, or should I then just later perhaps supply the committee of the letter that I received this morning from South African Human Rights Commission? Chair.
Please read it.
The letter reads, it is addressed to the provincial head, Dr. Ntili. Dear sirs, the Heidedal Quarry. The South African Human Rights Commission is a state institution established by Chapter 9 of the Constitution of Republic of South Africa to support constitutional democracy. The South African Human Rights Commission is managed in terms of Section 184 of the Constitution to promote the protection, development, and attainment of human rights and to monitor the observance of such rights within the Republic of South Africa. 2. We wish to advise you that the Commission has received a complaint from the Heidedal community on 6 August 2021. The complainant is about an abandoned quarry in Heidedal. It was used for bricks manufacturing by Coral Brick Free State Properties, and it was later sold to Tongaat. The quarry is now alleged to be under the ownership of Imbazo Trading. It is alleged by the community that more than 47 children have lost their lives throughout the years, and as a result of the abandoned quarry, children have an easy access to the site because it is not fenced. During summer, children use the site as a dam and they go swim. Other members of the community uses the dam for fishing. Community members express concern that lives will continue to be lost because the quarry is unfenced and there's no one taking responsibility of it. As a result, the Commission referred the complaint to DMRE on 19 September 2022, requesting DMRE to investigate the complaint and report back to the Commission. 1. This is the response from DMRE, that the closing certificate was issued by DMRE in terms of Section 43(5) of Mineral and Petroleum Resource Management Act 2002 on the 6th of December 2006, that festive season. That the Chief Inspector of the Mines and Department of Water Affairs and Forestry have confirmed in writing that provisions pertaining to the health and safety and management of potential pollution of water resources have been addressed. That Tongaat Units, third point, that Tongaat Units Limited have complied with the provisions of MPRDA before the certificate was issued. That there was no objection to issuing the closure certificate. That the site in question is no longer a mining area and therefore DMRE has no jurisdiction to monitor activities that may be taking place on the site. We have learned from the complainants that your department has concluded its investigation into the matter and has issued a directive against the owner of the property to fence the area to prevent easy access to the site. 8. The South African Human Rights Commission has an obligation to ensure that the responsible authorities take appropriate measures to ensure that any rights that are threatened or violated are through their actions protected and promoted. We require that insofar as you have conducted your investigation into the matter to provide the Commission with your findings and recommendations into the Heidedal Quarry. 10. Kindly respond to the Commission in this regard within 7 days of receipt of this letter. So that is the latest update that I received in my inbox this morning, honorable members. Takes me to slide 14. Honorable Chairperson, honorable members, enough talk, enough paper. This slide here is our humble request for action. Practical, urgent and it is within your power as MPs. We ask 5 things. See it. Please go visit the quarry. And I would appreciate it if you can invite me on that site visit so that what I've said here today in this presentation, I can point out to you on our walkabout. It's very important that you go and also meet the grieving parents. You see, honorable members, these are human beings that must be read, that read in reports how other people get houses and there is nothing. We feel so isolated, and we need to meet these grieving families. It will go a long way towards healing. And we ask members, let us secure this thing, this hellhole. Now must remember, it's the genesis of all these tragedies is mining. It started with mining. If it wasn't for somebody that decided to come and extract claim and leave the place just like that, this is mining. The genesis is mining of these tragedies. We would not have had this. So let us at least secure it. Let's fence it. Let's put proper signs on it and let us patrol it and then fix it. Let's make this school work. Give the children safe water please. Let's give the kids safe water at an affordable price. And then very importantly, also towards healing and redress. Let's investigate it. Every sale, every certificate, and every lie. Hold them accountable. Today, Parliament, you are our last hope. And these are the tools that we are providing. Please use them. So immediate relief for the community would be a site visit and meeting with the families of the victims. Please, honorable members, let's secure fencing, clear warning sign, regular patrols around the quarry to prevent unauthorized access and further loss of life. Let us fix the Heidedal swimming pool and make the entry affordable for our poor community. We cannot pay 21 rand for a swimming pool. We need to really just subsidize this and make it's about life and death, and make it possible for people also to enjoy the hot summers in Bloemfontein with some water splashes. And let us redress for the victims of the families. And then in terms of the investigations, we ask independent investigations, honorable members. Launch an inquiry into the sale of the land from Tongaat, Hewlett to Imbazo, and uncover the oversight failures and ensure public transparency. And to SEPs, please, members, investigate CAS 750962. Mineral resources, please investigate mine closure compliance, determine where the accountability lies, and let us enforce compliance and remedial action. And to our members who are not present here today, Environment and Forestry, let us assess the ecological damage and non-compliance to NEMA. You are the custodians of the National Environmental Management Act. Let us determine where the accountability lies and enforce compliance and remedial action. We have sewage flowing on that land from corporate actors in Twin City. Water and sanitation, let us investigate the non-compliance in terms of the National Water Act, determine where accountability lies, and let us enforce compliance and remedial action. Commission, very important, members. Commission an independent hydrogeological assessment to determine the real risk. With the last diving incident, or not diving incident, the drowning incident, divers come out. Sometimes divers must come from other provinces, and the search goes on. This is a massive water body. It is a massive water body. If you look at the cover, the introduction, you'll see the size and mass of the water. Now, Honorable Chair, one of the divers was overheard saying that the deepest point is now more than 100 meters deep. And with a previous occasion, with a previous body, it was said that the deepest point is 42 meters. We don't know. We don't know what the real risks are. The common denominator is that there's no water use license on the land, and we don't know what the risks of those dams are. And we ask, please commission an independent hydrogeological assessment by the qualified scientists, and let's be transparent and share the information with the community. And then for Mangaung municipality, investigate the approval of the township establishment in 1999, the Twin City development, the recent cemetery development, despite the area being in a delineated wetland, part of my what I gave to municipality with the cemetery, the process of during my objection, I drew tools, the NFIPA tools. It's so simple. National Environmental Affairs, before a development, you just punch in the stamp numbers, and then out came a very nice report that tells you, the NFIPA report, this is a delineated wetland, this is this is that. These are the documents that you need. And it is, consultants use it on a regular basis. And there it's clearly stated that it is a delineated wetland, and there are certain acts that kicks in when it is a delineated wetland cluster. So please, let us investigate the recent cemetery development, because, you know, it's uncomfortable. Sewer from the one side of the land, a cemetery in a delineated wetland, and must we now bury our loved ones in part sewer and in mud? So we need to just please look into that and be proactive instead of reactive when that happens. Honorable Chair, honorable members. So as we were speaking here today about what is transpiring on that land, I just wanna again put your eyes on a hot day. Kids will come and they will swim. A truck will come. That picture was supplied to me last week, to dump waste on the land, in the water, and in the below quadrant on the right-hand side of your screen, there is a stream of sewer moving towards the quarry, possibly polluting the quarry water. And then we have an auction that is ticking, and it's painting a picture of this wonderful land that they are selling to an unsuspected, possibly to an unsuspected buyer who doesn't know the real dark side of this land, who might sit with the liabilities. That clock is ticking for the auction. And by the way, the auction is in Johannesburg. I don't know why they don't have the auction on the premises. And then the last picture is a picture of grieving mothers standing on the banks day and night, frantic sometimes, waiting for the divers to find the body so that they can have closure out of their dangerous. But we are sick, we are tired as a community, and we are raising our pleas to you, honorable members. And that brings me to the conclusion. Thank you for allowing me to present to you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Werner. Indeed, a very emotional presentation. And I'm sure honorable members will agree with me. I will now take hands for either questions, clarities, or views that honorable members may have on the matter. I see one hand of Honorable Marie, Honorable Selepe, Marie, Selepe. Any other? Just a minute, Honorable Marie. I'm just taking other hands. Selepe, Sene.
Marie Selepe, write down the name.
The person who cannot raise her hand.
Okay, okay. So it will be Mare, Selepe, Sene, Zungula, Msongo. Those are the hands. Honorable Lorima. Those are the hands I can see. And if you can't raise your hand, please do what Honorable Msongo has done. Just indicate. Okay, thank you. Honorable Mare.
Thank you so much, Chairperson. Chairperson, I am not a member of your portfolio, but I am a member of Parliament and I live in Heidedal. I am from this area where this quarry is from. I just want to inform the Chair that I've rose in Parliament a few times with the motion of notice without motion. I wrote to the different ministers to tell them about this problem that we are having. Last week, Friday, we buried the last person, 21 years old gentleman. We have buried 50 children there. And this place is so accessible, Chairperson. People can just walk through go to the quarry. There's no security, there's no fencing, there's nothing. The community of Heidedal has been grieving for years now. And for years we've been asking government, please do something with the petition. I've signed the petition. We had marches, we had petitions, we had everything. So this is going to be our last plea, Chairperson, that we come to you. I'm very disappointed that the other portfolios are not here because they are also supposed to listen to what is happening here. This is a plea of a community that has given up. We don't know what to do anymore because we've been crying and no one is listening to our tears. So the municipality, the government, everyone is turning a blind eye on them. Even SAPS is turning a blind eye. The divers is saying it's becoming more and more difficult for them to retrieve bodies because it is more than 100 meters deep. They took a whole week looking for that body. And the divers must come from other provinces. They must be fed, they must be housed, they must be looked after for that week that they've been here. And while the family are standing there waiting for the body to be retrieved. And it is a story that is repeating itself over and over and over. So me as a member of Parliament, coming from this community, knowing the pain of this community, knowing the cries of the mothers and fathers and family members. 16th of June, we had a memorial service for all of those that passed away. They had the doves that went up, they had the flowers and everything, because it is, whenever you look at that thing, it is just bringing tears to families. And while the Heidedal swimming pool has been out of order for years now, every time they fix it for a day and it's broken again, in our area, you get 38, 39, 40 degrees. The children are just children, they're going to go and swim. So I'm asking very nicely, as a mother, as a grandmother, as a community member, let us take hands and let us do something to prevent another death in this Heidedal community. Thank you so much, Chair and honorable members. Thank you, Mr. Werner, for coming present and doing the hard work for the past years, never giving up. We hope that this portfolio and the ad hoc committee will be able to come and solve this problem for us. Thank you so much, Chairperson.
Thank you, Honorable Mare. You even assisted me to pronounce the surname of Mr. Werner. Thank you very much for that. Honorable Slepe.
Good morning, Honorable Chairperson. I'm not a robot. I'm trying to open my video and allow me to close it again, Chairperson, but I can't see it because I'm not the robot.
We have seen you. We have seen you. You can close it if you wish.
Thank you very much. Honorable Chair, indeed, let me first start by conveying my sincere condolences to the families who lost their children in this disaster of unrehabilitated them. Chair, as I was taking notes for this presentation, a sensitive one, a lot was always coming up. At some point, it's so disappointing that some people who are given a responsibility in leading our country, they are failing our people this way. It's so sad. Mr. Werner, in his presentation, he has a very well-researched and organized presentation and detailed one. He made mention that then Minister of Mineral and Services Zwane, that was basically staying in Free State Province. He failed to take action at the time while he was still in the office of this department, of holding whomsoever that was supposed to do the rehab in that particular area. Chairperson, I'm very disappointed if the minister, with all powers invested in him, he failed the community this much. It's so worrying, Chair. Furthermore, Honorable Chairperson, Mr. Werner, on his presentation, he made mention that September 2022, the Portfolio Committee of Minerals, this matter was reported to them. And this matter is still under investigation. And then I'm disturbed, Honorable Chairperson, to whether the investigation is indeed still going on or what is happening, because it's more than a decade, this thing being taking place in that particular area, and then it looked like the children in the area kept on dying. There's no resolution. There's no actions been taken, like the short-term actions, like you fencing the dam so that the children couldn't access the dam. In the meanwhile, while they are planning to rehabilitate the area. Chair, also I'm checking what is holding the department to, or whether the area is listed under the Drelek ownerless mines, whereby the Mintech is now currently doing the rehabilitation on such areas. What is it happening with that area that none of the department responsible person, the head, like your ministers, not saying or doing anything about that, even if after it's been reported on the national media, but there's nothing happening. Chairperson, I'm worried because when you look at the proposed immediate relief for the community, you can tell that the community now, they went to an extent that they're trying to do things on their own. There's the municipality of Emangau Metropolitan. Why is the municipality not doing anything after the complaints? Yes, I understand that there's a wrongful obtain or approval of township development. On that one, Chairperson, I just want you to take note of that too. I just want to check with Mr. Werner of the cemetery and of the township development. Whether the community, they don't want the cemetery and the township development, or their dispute is based on the way they obtained or they got the approval. I just want to get a clarity on that particular two aspect. But with the fraud that has been happening here, as the matter is still under investigation. I don't know how long should it take. That Imbas or trading, they got an approval without following any procedure, without any consultation to the Department of Water and Sanitation. I'm interested in knowing what powers do they have as the private owner, as a private company. What powers do they have that they can do anything without the municipality of Emangau not doing anything, even after the communities has raised such allegations? What interests of the municipal official do they have with this company? I think the investigation should start with the Mangaung Metropolitan Municipality. Then we will then know everything. The chain, it will lead us to the core of this matter. In this regard, Chairperson, the case is dated 2016. Now, I think the kids that born on 2016, I think now they are at school. The matter is still under investigation. Would the case been investigated, or it was the lip service, or they were just opening the case for certifying whomsoever that is, or Mr. Werner, because I think he's a community activist that was concerned about this matter with the backing of the community that we saw on the presentation. Chairperson, under your leadership as chairperson of our committee, I think it's paramount important that this matter, as they wrote in their recommendation, that as a committee, we need to visit the area to do the oversight so that everything they are talking about, we can witness and meet up with the parents of the children that died in that particular area. Chair, I think it's important for us to do that as a representative of the public, so that we can get to the bottom of this. I doubt that under your leadership as a chairperson, we can fail as a parliament to further recommend the right channels or people who are responsible for this, or recommend the Mintech to go and prioritize this dam as the matter of urgent to do the rehabilitation immediately if the resources of doing that are available. But this should be the area of focus, and the attention should be all given to this community, because they've been crying out loud to the department, government. They've ran everywhere, because I was recommending the Human Rights Commission, only to find that later Mr. Werner made mention that they also wrote to Human Rights Commission so that they might also hoping that they might get something better. But it seems that there's nowhere where they are getting, as it like now, they are saying we are the last hope for their challenges that they are facing with. I think, Chairperson, let's take it very serious as the committee and see whether as a committee we can go to Bloemfontein and assist these communities. I thank you, Chairperson.
Thank you very much, Honorable Selepe. Before I proceed to Honorable Senne, I see Honorable Kola Barnett has written something that I don't understand. It's an I. Is it an appeal to be added to the list of speakers? Honorable Kola Barnett? Okay, you will indicate by show of hand if you so wish. Can we proceed to Honorable Senne?
Thank you very much. Sorry. Thank you very much, Chairperson. Greetings to you and honorable members and everyone in the platform. Chairperson, firstly, when you did your opening remarks, you indicated that you are going to give us a reason why Department of Water and Sanitation is not part of the meeting, because I think, Chair, they were supposed to be part of this meeting, given that the issues raised in the petition, most of them relate largely on water safety, dam integrity and so forth. So if you can just maybe go back to that point, unless if I've missed it, in terms of why water and sanitation decided to withdraw from participating in this meeting. More so, the petitioner also requested that they form part of this particular meeting, Chairperson. And I want to agree with Honorable Selepe that we might need to have a joint oversight visit to this area so that we can see for ourselves, Chair. We cannot allow, as the seventh administration, we cannot allow this kind of issues to continue happening under our watch. I think we are, the government or departments are being unfair to the people that we are representing as members of parliament. So, Chairperson, I want to agree that we have a joint oversight visit to this area. But Chair, water and sanitation, we might need to meet with them, meet with them so that we can establish why they are not part of this or why they don't want to take part. But this matter is merely or mainly talking about water safety in that particular area. And I want to really thank the petitioner for the comprehensive presentation. Indeed, Chair, it's a very painful presentation. It's hurting, but as members of parliament in this meeting, we need to assist this community. Thank you, Chairperson.
Thank you, Honorable Senne. I will respond to the question you asked later on. Honorable Zungula. If you can unmute Honorable Zungula. Honorable members, can I ask, are you hearing Honorable Zungula?
No, Chairperson.
Okay, let
No,
me
we can't
pass.
hear.
Okay, let me pass to Honorable Mhlongo, and as soon as Honorable Zungula comes back, he will indicate. Honorable Mhlongo.
Thanks, Honorable Chairperson, and thanks and good morning to all that is available in this meeting. I would like to say to the people of Heidedal, please accept our sincere condolences and thanks a million to Mr. Werner and as well as Honorable person from EFF for doing and conducting the investigation pertaining to all the aforementioned regards. There is a dire need, Chairperson, to rehabilitate the area or the quarry in Heidedal. The life of innocent people has been claimed. This is a heart-wrenching event. It's worse when we're talking about 47 lives that has been lost. And that sounds like it was in a war, where else it wasn't. As a mode to prevent further tragedies through rehabilitation of the area, thus ensuring safety of the people living in Heidedal and the surrounding areas, we really need to visit the area through an oversight. This has long been standing from 1978 as per the hierarchical ownership that has been stated by Mr. Werner's presentation. And it is worse when we hear that investigations with packages were done to fix the fence and without proper and effective management. And the outcome was grossly unfair. It is worse when we hear that there is an essence in the water that was detected, that was also claiming the lives of the people whenever it has been ingested. A municipality needs to account. It has to be taken into or held accountable, as well as Imbazo Trading. Chairperson, we as the PC and the MP need to assist the people of Heidedal and ensure proper management of our PC committee, starting with oversight and strategic planning to ensure that Heidedal community rights are taken into serious consideration. This is grossly unfair and needs immediate intervention. Thank you, Chairperson.
Thank you, Honorable Mhlongo. Honorable Lorima. Can I check before Honorable Lorima? Honorable Zungula, are you back?
Yes, I'm back, Chair. Thank you
Please
for...
continue. My apologies, Honorable Lorima. Please continue, Honorable Zungula.
Yeah, thank you, Chair. Chair, I was saying that there's so much that has happened already in the context that there's been massive loss of life, particularly because of failing municipalities and departments. Perhaps as a committee or as Parliament, which will be represented by the different committees, we must not waste more time. Rather, I think we need to urgently advance that. We need to go to the area, have an oversight there, so that we're able to quickly issue a report that will compel the departments and the municipalities to act. It is worrying, especially now that it's warm and it's in summer, that there may be more children that may want to play around those areas and more lives may be endangered. With that being said, Chair, I would move that perhaps the committees jointly pursue an oversight, and we are able to hold the departments and the municipalities accountable. And many thanks to the petitioner and all of the affected people by raising this issue and coming to the portfolio committees to raise the issues and concerns, particularly for the area that has led to loss of life. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you, Honorable Zungula. Honorable Lorima.
Thanks, Chair. I think the reason that this issue has gone unresolved for so long is because it falls across many areas, many different departments and entities' areas of responsibility. And I think that's maybe been one of the reasons that nobody has felt compelled to act. I would suggest from the point of view of our committee that we engage with the Department of Mineral and Petroleum Resources and possibly with Mintech at the same time to take the lead on this. Mintech is the entity which is tasked with mine rehabilitation. Their problem is they have to prioritize. They've got too few funds to do more than one or two mines at a time. But I think the case for prioritizing this former mine is unarguable. It is in a densely populated area, and there is such a long list of casualties from this mine because it hasn't been taken care of. Obviously, it is not only up to Mintech to fix the problem. It has to be done in cooperation with the council, and probably the legal aspects need to involve the police. But I think as a priority, what we should do as a committee is write to our department and to Mintech and urge action at the soonest possible time. Thank you.
Thank you, Honorable Lorima. Honorable Mufokeng.
Thank you, Chairperson, and greetings to honorable members and everyone on the platform. Chairperson, as a member from Free State, I would also like to say that the concerns raised regarding the Heidedal Quarry are deeply troubling, and as Mr. Werner indicated in his petition or presentation, tragically lives have already been lost at this quarry. What is deeply concerning is that no warning signs, fencing, or safety measures were ever put in place to protect the community, and the children can still access this dangerous site. This shows a serious failure of oversight and accountability, Chairperson. In light of this, Chair, I would like to raise the following, I think it's 2 or 3 questions. I would like to know when was the quarry last inspected by the department, and what enforcement actions were taken against the responsible mining operator. My second one, Chair, I would like to know what immediate safety measures, including signage and fencing, will be put in place to prevent further danger. Lastly, Chair, I would like to know how will the case inform national measures to ensure that abandoned or derelict mines do not continue to pose a threat to other communities. Thank you, Chairperson.
Thank you, honorable members, for your inputs and questions. Now, let me say one thing before I give Mr. Werner to respond to.
Chairperson, I'm sorry. I see on the chat there's some questions from Honorable Hassan. My apologies, Chair.
I saw them. I want to address them now.
Okay, thank you, Chair.
Yeah, so I was saying, honorable members, that I did mention when we started with the meeting that the only presentation we're going to take is from Mr. Werner. I am aware that the Department of Minerals and Petroleum is around. I know that Water Affairs is not around, and I'll respond to that question, Honorable Sene. And they can't respond because they're not around. The DFFE is not around, can't respond. I will, at the end, when I summarize, outline how these questions are going to find their way to the relevant departments, rather than having questions posed to Mr. Werner. That's how we're going to deal with the questions posted there on the chat. They are relevant to departments and not Mr. Werner. But at the end, I'll try and explain what we will be doing. Before I do that, Ms. Boss, can you read the letter that was written to us by Water and Sanitation so that we respond to the question by Honorable Senna? Quickly.
Well, Chair, just hold on.
Or maybe when you are still good.
Okay, I've got the letter, Chair. I was going to read it now.
Please proceed.
Okay. This one is coming from the Secretary, Dear Ayanda. Kindly note that the PC on water and sanitation is not available for the scheduled joint meeting. And please also note the response below by the committee to NA table officials as advised by the content advisor. And then it's addressed to Dear Angeline. I think is the chairperson of that committee. Please note that this petition were never referred to the PC on water and sanitation, as it was sent to the then chairperson of the committee's private email address. He did not table it to the committee or discuss it with the secretariat. Nevertheless, even if it were referred to the PC on water and sanitation, it would not have been dealt with, since it is about the derelict mining quarry, which falls under the Department of Minerals and Department of Environmental Affairs, insofar as environmental impact is concerned. I am advised that this issue emanates from the defective mine closure certificate, which was issued without consideration of the rehabilitation that should have been done on the quarry. Therefore, Parliament, through the PC on Mineral Resources, I am also advised that there is a criminal case open against this landowner. The status of the case is not provided in the attachments, but it is with the NPA. The PC on minerals may also request an update in this regard. And then I hope this helps. Please feel free to contact me if you've got any questions. That is the Committee Secretary, Chair of Water and Sanitation. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Boss. And then, Honorable Sene, your question is answered in that manner, but I will, in my recommendations to you, touch on how we can deal with these issues moving forward. I will now hand over to Mr. Werner to respond only to the questions directed to him. Mr. Werner?
Thank you so much, Chair. Chair, I believe the only question that I perhaps can answer responded to me was Honorable Member Silepe's question. But let me just go down. I just want to thank Honorable Murray for the motion. And I also know that Honorable Murray has been standing with the families and the mothers on the banks while they waited for bodies to be retrieved. Thank you, Honorable Member, for truly being a leader on the ground. Honorable Silepe, I believe the only question that I can answer when you spoke about the cemetery, and just to maybe unpack my objection a little bit, the thing that you raised, Honorable Silepe, is the very point that one of the points about my objection of the cemetery is public participation. We were told that public participation is not necessary. It wasn't necessary for the councillor to be notified about the cemetery. So they went ahead without the public's participation. And I can guarantee you the public do not want a cemetery there. After I've raised these questions in my objection appeal, the councillor went on a roadshow to try to explain to the community why the cemetery is so important. And need I also just say for the record that the councillor did not sign the petition that was handed. The reason for this petition was not signed by the current councillor. And Mr. George Mushwabi, who accompanied the councillor, went on a stage, and I have it on record, told the Heidedal community or some of the members that a water use license is not needed because they will not be using the water from the dam. So in terms of public participation, Honorable Senator, it's a big no. Silepe, it's a big no. There was, in my view, there was no public participation. Honorable Senator, thank you for your comments and your response. I concur. Honorable Zungulo, thank you so much. Honorable Nomslongo, thank you so much. And Honorable Lorimer Mente, thank you so much for that suggestion. Honorable Mafokeng, we are both free staters. And those questions, I think it's directed to the departments, but thank you so much. And I haven't seen all the questions in the comments, MP Hassan, but thank you so much for all the support that I'm getting. I believe that is the only question that I could answer as it was speaking to my objection against the cemetery development and the public participation. Thank you.
Thank you. I see the hand of Honorable Murray before I propose a way forward. Honorable Murray.
Thank you so much, Chairperson. Chairperson, I'm sorry for this. I just want to raise the concern, and I think the committee portfolio must just think about this. First of all, the reason why the community is objecting to the cemetery is because bodies are going to come up. The water is everywhere. So having a cemetery there is going to be a problem because the water that we are talking about, the dam, it is going to the houses now. There's a road that is separating the dam from the houses. But the way the dam is growing and the way it's becoming in depth, it's going to take over the houses, and there where the cemetery is going to be. The people's bodies is going to go up. And one of the attorneys here in Bloemfontein wrote letters to us, but this thing was never announced. There was no public participation, nothing. So this is what our concern is, that this dam, basically, this quarry, is getting bigger by the day. When I arrived in 1997 here, it was a small little thing. Go and see now how big is that thing now. And it's going more and more to the street to go to the houses. So one of these days, that house is going to be full of water because that thing is just growing. Because it was never, they never worked on that thing. They never gave any attention to that thing. And my problem is this, that we are just going to lose more and more people. So I want to say thank you to the portfolio. Thank you to the chairperson, to the members, honorable members. Thank you. I will be so happy if you can come there and can see what is happening, because even sewage are being spilled into that quarry. Sewage is running everywhere from the back of the Twin City. The mall wasn't supposed to be there in the beginning. The companies were not supposed to be there in the beginning because nobody has done anything to rehabilitate that mine that was there. So we're sitting with a crisis here that one day we're going to wake up and there's going to be flooding everywhere and we're going to have massive damages. So this is a concern. Thank you for the portfolio, and thank you to come and have a look at here with Water Affairs and all the portfolios, DSD, everyone, so that we can see how we can address this problem by closing that thing and putting proper signs on there to make children aware that they cannot go in there. Thank you so much, Chairperson. Thank you, Mr. Werner. Thank you for the portfolio.
Thank you, Honorable Marie. Honorable members, may I propose the following? And please pay attention to the text. I'm proposing that the committees with an S that have been outlined here and relevant, or the Committee on Mineral and Petroleum Resources, should conduct an urgent oversight visit to Bloemfontein. And the reason I'm separating is that there may be the same reasons why other committees won't join us, but we will write to everyone to have a joint oversight as suggested by honorable members. This is the quarry or the dam, whatever language is used, directly, rather than relying solely on photographic evidence presented by Mr. Werner. And during this visit, the committees or committee will engage with the South African Human Rights Commission, which has investigated this matter, as well as the Mangaung local municipality, relevant provincial and national departments. And this is where I explain that even if committees of parliament don't join us, we will call their departments because we have authority to do that. So if, for instance, the FFE does not join us as a committee, we will call the department to come and appraise us on what they have done, what they plan to do, and ultimately what they must do. So we will extend, but we won't stop moving forward because the portfolio committees are not there. It's our job to speak to departments as the actioning bodies of anything that government must do to our people. We are also going to engage with South African police services and affected communities, and will be guided on the ground which are the affected communities if it's beyond Heidedal. This first-hand information will be essential in establishing the facts, enabling the committee or committees to respond effectively and make informed recommendations regarding the petition. Can I ask a question, honorable members, if this proposed way forward is in order? Is there anyone who supports who would want to move for the support of the proposed recommendation? Honorable Shekeling, on record.
Good morning, Chairperson. Good morning to everybody online. I hereby support the motion. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Honorable Shekeling. Any seconder? I see Honorable Senne.
Thank you, Chairperson. I want to support the proposals. Thank you.
Thank you, Chairperson. We are supporting.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Honorable Mhlongo. Any objection from any member to the proposal? 1, 2, 3, and I'm gone. So this proposal will be our recommendation now, moving forward. I want to thank Mr. Werner, and on behalf of the committee, convey our condolences to all the deceased, and when we arrive, I did not mention this, Mr. Werner, the families will be met by the committee or the committees on our oversight visit, and we're looking forward to seeing you when we come to Mangaung. Is there any other item, Ms. Boss?
No, Chair, that was the only item.
Thank you. Honorable members, in the absence of any other item, may I declare this meeting adjourned. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Chairperson.
Thank you,
Thank
Chairperson.
you.
Thank you.
Thank
Bye-bye.
you, Chair.